Artosis welcomes you to the exciting world of StarCraft. Text-to-speech is not permitted during these matches. Subscriptions are available below the stream. Thanks for helping us to keep the chat a nice place to stay. Thank you for coming to Artosis's stream. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ascension group number 2. We already went over the rules last time, but let's just take a quick look. Once again, this is a King of the Hill winner stays. First map is going to be Vermeer. The winner of that map stays. The challenger comes in, chooses one of the remaining maps, which include Polypoid, Butter, Sylphid, and Paradiso. Once we get down to one map, the map pool resets. We play 8 maps. If anyone is tied for the highest score at the end, the tiebreak is on Vermeer. The player with the most wins advances. Losses do not matter. Today, we're in Group 2. Bonyth, OctZerg, and Gypsy. I actually think this is going to be the closest group out of the 3 groups. The group number 1 that we already had. If you haven't watched it yet, well, big spoiler alert. It was completely wrecked by Zeke. He ended up winning all of his games, 7-0. So that was pretty insane. So I think this is going to be a good one. I'm ready for it. I hope you guys are ready for it. Let's do it. So here we are in game number 1 of Group 2. In the top left, we have Bonyth, the Polish Protoss, generally considered the number 1 foreign player. He has won a ton of BSLs. He's won just about everything. Super highly respected all around. And a very solid dude at that. In the bottom left, used to be a meme, but still a strong player. None other than OctZerg. OctZerg has been around for a very long time. It was actually a little bit of a surprise to me. He ended up getting 3rd place. It looked like EonZerg might end up getting 3rd place for the Zergs, but OctZerg kind of grinded out and ended up grabbing that 3rd place spot. So big congrats to him. You know, he's a very aggressive Zerg. He was known back in the day. Like, this guy's played forever. I've known OctZerg for, I literally don't even know how many years at this point. Like, he's been around forever, guys, to the point where last time I was hanging out with LS, the league guy who used to play StarCraft, he's like, does OctZerg still play? I'm like, oh, he absolutely does, and he plays like he always has. But it's great to see him compete here amongst the other top guys. I think that he can make it really interesting, and for those of you who don't know OctZerg, he is a very aggressive, kind of cheesy, Zergling-based, generally, player. He'll definitely have some tricks up his sleeve in this match. Looks like he's going to open with an overpool, which is not actually, this isn't a trick. I know you're seeing pool first, and you're getting excited about it. But this is a pretty standard opening. We see more hatch first nowadays in Zerg vs. Protoss, I think. At least from the games that I cast, certainly that's been the case. But he's just going overpool, and that's just, it's going to be safe against this gateway expansion coming up here from Bonyth. Now, I would say that Bonyth here obviously would be favored. But yeah, I think OctZerg just adds this level of volatility to the group that makes this group particularly interesting. He is, out of the 9 players that made it into this tournament, without any doubt, he is the most aggressive of them, right? Like, when I think about it, like, actually, I would describe most of them as macro players. Probably Terror would be the 2nd most aggressive player, but he has more of a kind of a cheeky aggressive style. By the way, this is insane pro blocking. Absolutely insane pro blocking right now. He's blocked that hatchery like 3 or 4 times. Look at this. 450 minerals, and then he lays a pylon down and just gets out of there. Turns out Terrans aren't the only ones destroyed by an early probe in their base. That's pretty insane. So OctZerg goes ahead, just throws a hatchery here. Obviously, that's not where you want it. But, like, you can kind of make it work. Now, look at this back at home. He's made 2 Zealots. He hasn't sent them out. And he's making a Forge. Absolutely unexpected. This is not a build that you'll generally see. But maybe against OctZerg, this is what Bonyth feels like he needs. Because you never know. OctZerg may just turn on the aggression immediately. Now, look. The probe comes back, sees a couple of Zerglings. And, well, I mean, he sees the gas, right? He's going to see that there's going to be a 3rd hatchery. Obviously, where this one was built was out of view of warping and pylon, so this was news to him as well, just throwing that in there. This could end up being like a Hydralisk Den or something, but if Bonyth can keep the probe alive, then he's not going to have to be too scared of it. Now, the Forge is done. The Nexus has started. Gas already on the way here for Bonyth. It looks like he is very well defended. Quick layer coming up. A few more Lings as well. Now, the quick layer, this could be like a quick Mutalisk play. It doesn't feel like it's super, super quick, like not optimized towards that. Obviously, his build gets screwed up by Bonyth's early probe in his base. But yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. It's hard to guess what OctZerg is going to be up to here, because I think he will have some sort of plan that he's coming up with, probably on the fly, because it's such a strange opening. But definitely he knows very aggressive ways to try to end a game against a strong player like Bonyth. Now, Zergling speed is on the way. Bonyth continues to keep that probe alive for a million years, which is pretty crazy. We have the Cybernetics Core coming up. Obviously, he's going to want to get into the Stargate after that. And now we just kind of wait a minute, because he is about to get the probe. So we'll see as he gets the probe. Like, if he throws down a Hydralisk Den, it's already a little bit too late for that. And in fact, Bonyth even gets one final scout of the creep out here. That was the best probe scout I think you could literally ever get. Because not only did he leave just as the layer was finishing, but he saw all the creep that was available. So he knows there's no Hydralisk Den, right? So he doesn't actually need more cannons. So amazingly done there from Bonyth. Very kind of exciting opening to this game so far. And I do have to say, while I'm sitting here casting this, and I'm actually feeling like a lot of excitement going into this group. Big apologies, I was still quite a bit sick for day number 1. I can feel now casting this that I didn't do that good of a job on day 1. I had a stomach bug and was not 100% recovered, so unfortunate there. Sorry about that, but we are back now, and yeah, can't wait to see what this is actually going to end up being. A Spire on the way for OctZerg. He makes his 3rd base, which is actually his 4th hatch. Kind of surprising to see him actually dive in on those Zealots. A little bit surprising there. You know, the cannon was firing some. The 3 were in a decent line, but he does trade out a little bit. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to think about that. No second gas yet, by the way. First Corsair will be coming out shortly. Photon cannon in the main base. Very, very smart move there. He has a pylon here, so he can end up putting a cannon in the mineral line. This second cannon will protect a couple of these patches reasonably well. Hydralisk Den coming up. So, okay. I think it seems like OctZerg is going into pretty much macro from here, right? Like, he has that speedling opening. He's made it a little bit scary. Down comes the Corsair. The Scourge are going to come in and, ooh, a nice juke there from Bonyth. I feel like OctZerg, if he was a little bit more careful there, he actually could have caught the Corsair. That did feel like some manual overrides on the way Scourge liked to act. Like, he was ahead of the Corsair, so there was certainly a better chance, because it looked like it was a right-click on him, and then the juke caused the sharp turn. Whenever you do sharp turns against Scourge, they have a hard time realigning with you, so you can, like, gain distance on them. It's amazing to see people do it really well. You see it most often with Corsairs against Scourge. I remember once we were at a WCG USA Finals, and there was a very strong up-and-coming Terran player known as Theognis that was playing. And he actually did this drop where he was juking his drop ship around while 2 Scourge were trying to get it, and he unloaded, like, the whole thing. It was, like, some of the most insane micro. I've literally never even seen that from Boxer. So, it can be done if you get really, really good at it, if your opponent is not microing the Scourge. Nowadays, I think people micro the Scourge, so you're not going to really see that as often, but sometimes it's really, really helpful. Now, taking a look at this. Oh my god. Okay, so Overlord speed, Lurker upgrade, +1 missile. I wonder, are we going to get a turtled OctZerg? Are we going to get OctZerg running up for a containment? Are we going to get OctZerg trying to do something like quick drops? That would be an interesting one. I don't feel like he could do drops this quickly. You know, obviously there's a bunch of Corsairs out and everything. Corsairs, by the way, are flying across the map. 5 of them right now. Few Zealots getting into position. Reasonable Sim City, but not that many units from OctZerg at the moment. Right? His army supply is incredibly low. Now, he burrows that Lurker just before the Zealots can get in, so obviously you can't actually enter. Dives onto the Overlords. He is going to pick off 2. Will take some damage, some pretty heavy hull damage on 2 of the Corsairs here. Now, there's no anti-air here, so he absolutely can just delete this Overlord. It looks like the Sunken is going to be taken down rather quickly as well. In runs the Lurker. And, well, this does not look good for OctZerg right now. This looks, in fact, very, very, very bad. A tough opener. A tough opener. It looks like, it feels like, overall, like, Bonyth is playing pretty standard, maybe a little safe with the timing of the Forge, but pretty standard overall, and that somewhat standard push-out timing caught OctZerg, who was trying to get Lurker before Hydra, right? Which is not something that you normally see. Obviously, it can block against the Zealots reasonably well, like we saw here, but he just didn't have the defense at his 3rd base location. So now he's lost one of his production facilities. Obviously, he's lost the patches being mined easily there. So definitely some bad things going on for him right now. Now, a lot of Hydras going across the map. There is a DT up here kind of waiting. The Corsairs continue to pop Overlords. Look at this, 61 of 36. This game's starting to feel a little bit one-sided. OctZerg going to go ahead, jump onto this Forge. Does have an Overlord in the vicinity, so looks like he will be able to push that back. 2 High Templars are sitting here ready to go. 2 more popping out. Ooh, some good damage. Does not want to cancel that +1 armor. And what is the plan going to be here for OctZerg? One thing I do want to mention that I find really interesting, he's actually getting the care pace upgrade a lot quicker than most Zergs, okay? Most Zergs stay on 1 evolution chamber for a very long time in this matchup, right? They just focus on the ranged attack upgrades. Obviously, the care pace upgrades can be really good. Oh god, great surrounds here. He's just ignoring the single Lurker, just surrounding so many Hydras. Really, this game getting a little bit out of control for OctZerg at the moment. You can see his supply nearly doubled right now. It's too bad, too, because I kind of want to see what his take was on this if he hadn't taken this massive damage, right? And obviously, that little run-up he just did was a little bit of a fail. Lost a lot of Hydralisks there. Bonyth right now kind of keeping the pressure on with some Zealots outside. Bonyth now walking out, clearing that Lurker. He's got some great production. He's got 9 gates at the moment. Normally, we only go for 8. Maybe he was expecting this one to be torn down. Either way, his macro looking on point, up a good 52 supply right now, getting ready to take that 3rd base location. OctZerg right now, just fielding Hydras as he can. He does have a little spread of Lurkers. It feels like he's going to have to snipe Observers to have a real chance, but even then, there's a lot of Psy Storms. Honestly, I think Bonyth is about to just roll through him here. Hard to imagine OctZerg getting too much done on the defense, right? Like, I mean, he can't do a counterattack. If he tries a counterattack, it's like, okay, he gets the 3rd, but Bonyth will literally kill him. He has so many units. It's about whether or not he can hold at all. This is a very good defensive setup. That's like a good spread of Lurkers. The triple sunk would be good if he sets up this as a sunk. I mean, he's got... the storms are going to be a little bit brutal here, I think. And there is a counterattack going on. Maybe OctZerg feels this is his best chance but it doesn't seem like it's one that's going to end up working. He's actually turning around as he realizes that Bonyth means business, and he's going in for the kill. Looks like he will simply move forward, start targeting down. Some of this static D, the Spore does its best against some of these. Oh, a nice Storm on the ramp to take out those drones as well. Storms onto those Hydras. OctZerg being pushed back. And this should be game. I think we'll be seeing GG in just a second here. Nothing really remains for OctZerg. He's going to lose this base. You know, he is going towards drops and everything, so he definitely had plans in this game, but it feels like Bonyth was on top of him in literally every single situation. Really showing why he is so dominant within the non-Korean scene. Another great Storm going down. Great positioning there from Bonyth. But, I mean, at this point, you're winning so much. Everything looks like you're a genius. And, yeah, we'll be seeing GG as OctZerg is going to drop down in a single-digit supply momentarily here. I guess the 5 Hydra counterattack. We're going to follow that, see if it gets anything done. Are we really waiting for this 5 Hydra counterattack? You know, this could be as simple as just checking what's at the 3rd. Okay, GG. I think that's what that was. He didn't think the 5 Hydra counterattack's going to do something. But if you don't want to go into the replay afterwards, then you could always just right-click your units to go check, right? So, okay, I think I get it. I think I understand that strange scenario. But that was a pretty one-sided game, number 1. You know, obviously, Bonyth, very, very strong. You know, I think he screwed up OctZerg so much in that beginning that it's hard to... Like, I don't think... Like, they're going to most likely play again. Unless Gypsy wins out from here, we'll see more OctZerg versus Bonyth. But I think that match will look much better next time, right? A lot of things went sideways for OctZerg very, very quickly. Whew. Okay, let's take a look at that score screen. So right now, 7 games remain. Bonyth in the lead. Up next, we're going to go into Bonyth versus Gypsy.